Hi, it's Mitz from My Life Mitz. Thank you so much for being here today. Let's work in the Hobonichi Techo. This is video number 2 for today, so if you've noticed this heading is similar to another video, I apologize, but I was talking about, in the other video, I was talking about filling in some of these doodles that I've already finished, and so I thought I would take some time here, and I think this is I think I've done most of the other ones, yes. So this is not finished yet, and I usually use one of these 3 fine liners, one of these brands. They're all very good, and I enjoy them very much. And I usually use a 01 for the first initial doodle. This is the Marby Uchida for drawing. You can't really see because I've used it so much. The Sakura Micron Pigma and the Mitsubishi Uni Pin. So I don't have a preference. I just grab what's there. Once I finish with the watercolor and it's dry, I'll usually go on top of it with a thicker nib, with the 03 or 02. I also like the F nib that I don't have close by, but the F1 is one of my favorite ones, and the F1 is with it's this brand here, the Sakura Micron in the F. I'm gonna try and see, I haven't done that yet in these ones, but yeah, you can see like how with the thicker nib that it's like stands out more. I feel like the little doodles stand out more compared to, see, I haven't used it here yet. And so there are days where I feel like, oh, I don't want to take out my watercolors, I don't feel like doodling anything. I'll just take my thicker nib and I'll outline some of these little images. But today I feel like doing some watercolor, and I wanted to add some watercolor to these pages. And so I thought I would pop on here and share with you that process. So it's going to be really relaxed and not really, I don't really have much on my mind. Like, I never really have much on my mind when I'm doodling, eh? Like, I just want to get on here and share with you so that we can kind of journal together and spend some time together relaxing. The kids are finally back at school, and last week they had shortened hours, so it was very difficult to film and get things like work, especially, it was really tough to do with shortened hours. And so now the kids are back at school. Today is like a full day, so I can spend a little bit of my lunch here. I haven't had my lunch yet, so you might hear my stomach growl. But I thought I would spend a little bit of time just adding some color to the doodles. I like to draw these items when I'm like watching TV at the end of the night and taking it easy. This little flotation device had some blue in it. I just finished watching Shogun, and it was in Japan. It's on Disney Plus if you're in Japan, if you're wanting to watch it. But I think it's on a different station or streaming service in other parts of the world, but I subscribed to Disney Plus for the summer holidays so that my kids could watch some Disney movies, and I haven't canceled the subscription yet, so I've decided to watch Shogun because I heard it was really, really good. And so I just finished watching that series, which was nice. This is supposed to be a pool, and they had I lost a word. it's not the lazy river, it's like the tidal wave pool, but it's not too bad. Like, it's not like my kids can totally go there. And I was initially worried a bit like they would lose their footing, and it's quite deep near the edge, so I was a little bit worried. But after I knew that they were able to stand on their 2 feet, like I didn't realize how deep it was, but it was shallow enough that they're able to have their feet on the ground. I just let them totally play in the waves. So we had a little staycation and we went swimming, and oh, I don't know if I have I'm looking here because I was just journaling in my traveler's notebook, but I don't believe I put the wristband in here. Yeah, it's not in here. We had these wristbands. Oh, it's right here. I'm not sure why it's these wristbands, and these plastic ones, so that you can go on certain rides. I think I was going to stick it in there, but this is the 26th. Maybe it was this week. I don't remember. I'll have to take a look at my camera roll. But yeah, they had these swimming wristbands so that we can go on certain activities. And like I said, we went on a staycation, so we stayed overnight. And I brought my pens and my Hobonichi and my this one here, the palette. And I was so ready to journal in the evenings, but I forgot my water brush. Oh, that's like the worst. Yeah, so I was so bummed that I did not have my water brush with me, but I was able to do a little bit of like doodling, which was nice, and just flip through the pages in the journal. But I forgot the watercolor. I couldn't do any of the paints and things, unfortunately. But the kids had a lot of fun at the water park. It was an indoor water park, so it was not too hot, but there's just so many people. Lots and lots of people, unfortunately. And the place that we stayed at had free, I'm not sure why I'm coloring it yellow there, it had free of these like breadstick type of breakfast bread. They're not breadsticks, because my image of a breadstick is that they're hard, but it's like these soft breadsticks with little chocolate bits, and so they had those available for free, and of course coffee and orange juice, which was nice because we stayed at a it's kind of like a motel, just to save on some costs. And so we were very pleasantly surprised with that, that they offered that service. I was very happy with a nice coffee in the morning. And then the day after, we went to a different pool park, and so this probably doesn't look like much, but actually it's kind of like they have these big sliders. Is that what you call them? The water slides that kind of loop around. This park was better, I feel. The kids had a lot more fun. I think only because we went in the evening time, and so it wasn't, I mean, it was still busy, but it was not as packed as it would be if, you know, if you went during regular hours. And so this one had like this one had a water slide too. They had 3 different water slides actually, and this one was, this water park was quite fun. And so because there weren't a lot of people on the water slides, we went over and over and over again. The kids had so much fun. The adults were very tired because in order to go to these water slides, you have to walk, you know, several flights of stairs up, up, up. And so the adults, like my husband, was okay, but I was exhausted. Near the end, my husband was like, I'm not walking up anymore. But yeah, this water park, I enjoyed the kind of lazy river, just kind of relaxed and let the water kind of flow and take me, which was fun and relaxing. But it's so exhausting when there's lots of people. I find that quite exhausting. But I go because, of course, my kids want to enjoy their summer break, and yeah, I'm trying to make a greenish color. It was like a greenish. The water slide itself was a green. This one is not that fast. The ones that were here were quite, you can hear when I was with my son, like there was a two-seater, and so my son was in the front and I was in the back, and he was just screaming. The first time we went on, he was just screaming because it was going so fast. It was so cute. And so I'm going to wash this green somewhere. I know many of you, yeah, I'm curious to know if you did anything interesting for your summer break as well. The rolling typhoons really, unfortunately, like because of the typhoons, we decided to do a staycation. And eventually it was difficult because they were saying the typhoon was going to hit Tokyo during so and so days, but every day we kept watching the news. The expected date of the typhoon in Tokyo kept delaying bit by bit, and then eventually by the end of it, it never really hit Tokyo, so we could have flown to where we were supposed to go. But anyways, I am not complaining. I'm still very, very thankful that we were able to go to these spots. But yeah, we did end up going to somewhere within Japan, which is nice to see other parts of Japan. But this part of the summer holidays, we ended up just doing a staycation. The other part, maybe I'll do like a video of like a journal with me session in my traveler's notebook, because I really want to sit down and gather all, like my ephemera is all gathered up and ready to go. I just want to look through the photos, print some of the photos out, and journal about that summer break. And this is a little bit kind of, this one is okay. I like to add color around. You can see I like to add color around the doodles. So I think I'm going to do that here. I don't want to add too much water, because then it gets all mushy. And so I add a concentration of color near the edge of the drawing, and then I kind of spread out the color that way. But yeah, if you had your summer break and your kids are now back, or maybe you're back at work after your summer break, I'd like to know if you experienced anything interesting or fun or different. If you had a good summer holiday, or maybe winter holiday if you're in the south. I wish it were winter right now. It's just way too hot. My family's visiting me and soon, and I know it's going to be very difficult for them because it's just so hot right now. I wrote that earlier, but I think I want to outline it. So you can see the difference in nib there with the 0, 1 and the 2. This is a 2, yes, a 2. It's already quite different. Hopefully this is not too wet. I'm going to show you what I mean. And I don't end up outlining the whole thing, just certain bits of it. This is still kind of wet. Let's outline this one here. And you can see it's very, very loose and messy, and that's okay. Let's outline the... It's a little bit damp, but that's okay. Just the outlining too is very relaxing for me. So like I said, when there are days I don't feel like taking out the watercolor, or I don't feel like doodling anything, I will just end up grabbing a thicker nib and outlining some of the doodles. And that in itself is very, very nice and relaxing. I imagine these like water parks is kind of like, I've never been there before, but back home there's one called Great Wolf Lodge. And so I think anywhere you go, kids have a fun time at the water parks. I think there were a couple other ones that didn't have the outlining. So you can see their weekend camping. Let me bring this up closer. It has the thicker outlines, but I think with the tent and the burnt popcorn, I'm going to add a little bit more to it. We're thinking of changing our tent. We've used it for many years now, and my husband wants to do more like camping in the like cooler months, because camping in the summer is so hot. It's so hot and exhausting. But the tent is not built for the cooler temperatures, so he's thinking of selling this one and then maybe getting one that's more suitable for cooler temperatures as well. And I think I don't know about winter camping, but I think autumn camping would be so nice and relaxing. I could totally see myself kind of in the evening times, just looking at the fire, having my knitting. I don't know if I'll be able to actually be able to knit though, because it'll be so dark, but I think that would be so relaxing to just sit there by the fire and watch. I know even my son is saying, oh, it's so relaxing to just sit here and watch the fire. Some camping spots have a restriction, like you have to have all the lights out by a certain time, which kind of ruins the whole relaxing part, because we like to relax after the kids go to sleep. We want to sit by the fire and have a hot beverage. Yeah, so when there are those like time limits, it's kind of, I wish they didn't have that, but I understand like some people make a lot of noise, especially if people drink at the campsite and there's no lights out time, that people just end up drinking and making so much noise. So I understand why that is in place, but this particular area had so many dragonflies. It was really nice to see. So I think I'll leave it at that for now. It's been about 20 minutes or so. Maybe I'll finish off with adding some water or some color on the edges there, or let me finish by adding an outline. Sometimes when I have too much water and I'm adding these headings, the lettering can kind of blob into each other, but by outlining it, it makes it easier to see. Like this one here, this letter M was quite of a blob, so I just added the outline there so that it's easier to understand. I mean, this journal is just for myself, so it's not a big deal if I can't read it. The process of journaling itself is very relaxing and very meaningful to me, so if I can't read this little blob, it's not a big deal. Yeah, we watched a movie. Oh, I don't know how. This is probably the third. We watched Frozen in theater. Oh my, yeah. We don't really watch the movies that much in the theater. My kids have gone once during the spring break. It's not spring break, summer break. They usually go once during summer break. But this is movie number 2 for this summer break. They call the movie Inside Out. They call it Inside Head in Japan, and so I'm not sure why they do that, because it totally makes sense to just leave it as is, but they like to change the titles. Like for example, Frozen, they should have just left it as Frozen, but they name it something totally different. But yeah, this one I drew with ballpoint pen, and I think I'll color that in next time. The movie theater we went to was very, very tiny. They don't have many movies that are in the original English voice. Like it's usually voiceover with Japanese, because usually kids watch these types of movies and the kids cannot read the subtitles. So it was very difficult to find a theater that had the English version available. My friend found one, but the movie theaters was very small. We were very shocked. And the popcorn we bought was a tiny little box. It was so small. And it was very pricey, so we were very shocked, but appreciative that we were able to find the English version available. Yeah, it's strange. We went to watch Frozen a long time ago, and it was in Japanese, and I didn't really, I mean, I understood it, but like with the jokes and things, I didn't really understand. I could hear people laughing, and I didn't know what the joke was about. But yeah, these are just some of the other... here, I'm missing my pinky, but it looks like I have only 4 fingers. Yeah, I've done some doodling, but like I said, this heat is really, really taking a toll. But I'm so thankful that you're here and journaling along with me. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hope you found this video enjoyable and relaxing, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.